Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Econ Prof.Podcast. Today, I'm with Fabrizio Ferrari from Italy, and we're going to talk about response of European Union to COVID-19 and struggle of Italy and the also the rising political clashes in Italy, also among European Union countries. So, welcome to the show, Fabrizio.
Thank you for having me, Aki.
So, recently recently we've seen rising political tension against European Union from some Italian politicians, and they have been raising their voices because European Commission or other authorities in European Union were not successful in supporting Italy. So what do you think about it? Do you think Salvini and other politicians have right to criticize harshly European Union, or it's misleading?
The short answer is no. They do not have any right at all to criticize European Union, and there are really many reasons why Italy is not at all in the position to move critics against the European Union. Maybe we do not have time enough to present all the historical facts and all the historical examples when Italy somehow misbehaved with respect to European Union. I believe that if we stick to the present, we see that the situation is really easy to describe. What Italian politicians, and not only Matteo Salvini and the right or far right of the Italian political system, I would say that this goes as well for the Partito Democratico, so center-left, and also the left and the far left. What basically Italian politicians want right now is free money from European Union. They do not want to accept any kind of commitment, neither when it comes to how they are going to spend the money European Union is going to lend to Italy, and even less when it comes to conditionalities, so how we will have to behave and to reduce our spending in the future in order to reimburse the loan that European countries will make to Italy in the end. Basically, it all boils down to a very childish and whimsical question. Italian politicians are saying, just give us money, we need it, and we do not want to provide you with any guarantee that we will give you your money back. So you understand, is a sort of really crazy and insane debate we are facing in Italy right now. And what is even worse, I believe, is that the media, the newspapers, the radio shows, whatsoever, you name it, are not presenting facts as they really are. Because, for instance, there is this huge debate right now here in Italy about whether it would be better to access some funding from the ESM, European Stability Mechanism, the one that saved Greece and to some extent Spain, Cyprus, or it would be better to issue a common bond. You can call it, Euro bond, Corona bond, recovery bond. It doesn't matter. The point is always the same. You can somehow, how can I say it, mutualize, you can share a common debt only in two possible ways. Either you commit yourself credibly that you're going to repay your part of this debt, it is a sort of pooling mechanism, a sort of insurance, I can borrow some money from you, but I promise you that I will behave correctly. I will not produce any misdeed, any misconduct, and behaving correctly, I will give you your money back. This is the first way. The other way is, okay, and you can see it, this is the way in which basically political unions are formed. Some states or some regions can say, okay, we decide that we want to issue debt together, we want to have a common fiscal policy. The point is that if you decide to issue debt along with other countries and have a fiscal policy in common with these other countries, you also must be willing to lay down and to, how can I say it, give up a share of your taxing power. You cannot issue debt, okay? You cannot have a European Commission issuing debt without having this very same European Commission with the power of raising taxes, okay? That's the point. So I believe that the European Union and also Germany, Netherlands, and all the North Europe countries that here in Italy are depicted as the spawns of the devil, okay, as pure evil countries, as people that are just waiting to Italians basically die from coronavirus. That's not true. That's total bullshit, to be honest. Why? The reason is simple. Germany, Netherlands, you name it, the northern country would be more than willing to issue debt together in order to save the European Union, because you understand it, they do not gain anything having Italians dying or destroying their economy. They of course would prefer a strong Italy with a strong economy. The point is that they are available to do such a common debt issuance only insofar as Italy can provide some sort of guarantee or can give up a share of its taxing power. That's the reason, and that's what Italian politicians, I don't know if they don't understand it or they don't want to say it loud and clear because they fear losing a share of the people voting for them. I really don't know. Believe me, it is crazy. I don't know in other countries how things are going, but here in Italy, it is honestly a crazy debate.
So as far as I understand it, the problem is basically the trust between European Union body and Italian government. So, but do you think Italian government it's feasible European Union authorities expect from them?
I'm sorry, can you just repeat the last question because I lost you for 1 second?
The question is the European Union authorities expect Italian government to commit some financial rules. Do you think Italian government can provide such? Do you think for them it's feasible to commit whatever European Union authorities expect from them?
Okay. Well, I think that there are two answers to such a question. There is an economic theory answer, and the answer I can offer you under economic theory viewpoint is that, of course, it is possible to commit because it would mean to make Italian fiscal policy better. What European Union has been asking to Italy for the last 20 years basically was structural reforms, okay? They wanted us to implement some structural reforms in order to make our labor market, our basically the general economy more competitive, more flexible, more capable to adapt to globalization, okay, and whatsoever. So, of course, under an economic perspective, it is totally feasible to commit to what European Union, European Commission are going to ask it. Not only this would be feasible, but would also be best case scenario for Italy. I hope that this will happen one day. problem is that under a political viewpoint, I don't think it's possible, because if you look at the current Italian parliament, I would say I cannot even think about one single member of parliament willing to make such an assertion as the one I am making to you right now. Okay, they all are talking about rights, what European Union must do for us, but they cannot think about what Italy can do for European Union, and to be honest, for Italy itself. So if you have a country in which wherein the political demand is only for transfers, only for a big government, a big daddy government, providing you with free lunches, you can call it universal basic income, retiring at 62 years old. I don't know. I mean, if you think of the state and the government as an entity that is only obliged to provide you with some sort of money transfer, this cannot work, because once you have a political party putting you in front of reality and telling you, look, this cannot go on forever, someone must pay one day or another for the free lunch you have enjoyed in the past. I mean, it is obvious that the majority of population will not be willing to vote for the party telling them we have to raise taxes or we have to reduce public spending. Basically, the Italian political situation is all about which political party is offering the biggest free lunch. And the one offering the biggest free lunch wins the election. And this has been so for the last really 40 years. I think that the first one understanding it was Bettino Craxi in the 80s. And after that, it has always been like that. With maybe, I don't know, there has been some exception, but it is irrelevant. In a trend of 40 years, one or two people different do not make any kind of difference. So
let me ask you a political question. Do you think a previous government, Renzi, before going for voting, do you think he was willing to initiate some structural reforms in Italy? Do you think that was the reason he asked for more power in the government for himself?
Yeah, okay. I think that, to be honest, Matteo Renzi is probably one of the 2 or 3 politicians I would have mentioned as the exceptions in this 40 years trend of decline in Italy. Now, let me make it clear. I don't think that Matteo Renzi was the best possible prime minister. I don't believe that he is a sort of God on earth. Okay, he is not Jesus Christ. To be, for full disclosure, I mean, to be very clear. Nonetheless, I think that some of the reforms he had in mind, and also the general vision about how Italian economy and also how Italian institutional framework, I think that he had some good ideas about it. For instance, the constitutional referendum he lost in 2016, and basically that's the reason why his political career totally failed, because he never recovered after the 2016 referendum. I believe that he was right. Maybe not 100% right, okay, but 70% right is better than nothing, okay? And I believe that probably Matteo Renzi is the last missed opportunity in Italy. When Italians decided to abandon and to forsake Matteo Renzi political vision in 2016, I think that Italian decline somehow accelerated, okay? I cannot say if Renzi could have been capable to revert this decline. I think yes. I cannot be 100% sure. What I can say for sure is that all the politicians that governed Italy after Renzi did much worse, much worse. It's not even comparable in my view. And I would also say that Renzi was much better than Berlusconi, and I believe to some extent also much better than Romano Prodi before him. So I would say that probably Renzi as a prime minister has been the best one in the last 30 years at least. And yeah, this has been a missed occasion, a missed shot, and I don't know if Italy will have another opportunity, at least in the short run.
Well, he's young, right?
Yeah, he's young, but sadly enough, once the media system starts to depict you, and in this case by you I mean Matteo Renzi, as an evil person, a person that I don't know, wants to do this bad thing to pensioners, these other bad things to workers, and because you see also here in Italy, we have, I believe, a crazy debate about immigration. There is a huge political demand for basically racist policy. Okay, we Italians want right now racist politics, racist politicians. They want politicians saying horrible things like. I cannot even repeat it because I am disgusted. And if on the other hand you look at economic facts, we need every year hundreds of thousands of immigrants, and without these hundreds of thousands of immigrants, our economy simply cannot work. And so you see, when I Italian political debate is crazy, insane, and totally detached from reality, I mean that you have, I don't know, maybe 80% of Italian voters asking for racist politicians, and they do not understand that those racist politicians are the ones hindering the development of Italian economy. They are impairing the development of Italian economy. That's why I believe that Matteo Renzi will not have another chance, at least in the short run, because the debate is so much poisoned, so much spoiled and corrupted with basically bullshit. And if you have a politician that is not perfect, far be it from me saying that Renzi is perfect. I don't believe so, okay? But at least he does say something more correct when you compare him with Matteo Salvini, Nicola Zingaretti, Giorgia Meloni, etc., etc. Okay, he has, I think, a clear vision about how Italy should be managed and governed. The problem is that the media system has started depicting him as a loser and an evil politician. And I don't think that in this kind of political scenario, in this political environment, political and media environment, he can, at least in the short run.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, do you expect Italian voters take a lesson from the actions of current government and search for better possible politicians to vote? What is your expectation?
Because, to be honest, I have different bets with friends of mine. I am betting that, yes, we will learn something, maybe not in 1 year, maybe not in 2 years, but say in 5-7 years, I think we will have to face reality. I mean, you cannot procrastinate the meeting with reality forever, okay? Sooner or later, reality kicks in. That's true for sure. However, I am not so sure, and that's why I accepted the bet. This is a funny bet because you don't know the outcome in advance. A lot of friends of mine, they say that we will not learn anything, and they say as an example, they suggest as an example the case of Argentina. And I think that this is a smart example. Argentina is a country that in the last 70 years probably basically did not learn anything because they keep committing the same mistakes ever and ever again that default, high debt, high public spending, inflation, they seem not to understand. I don't know if Italians will go the same pathway as Argentinians, or they will learn. I hope that we Italians will learn, but I cannot be sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Fabrizio.
Thank you for having me, Aki. It's been my pleasure.
Have a good day, and thank you for everyone for listening.